Hey, what's up, fight freaks? It's the Combat Remix, bringing today's MMA fix. Drake recently revealed his favorite MMA fighter, and while many people suspected it was Conor McGregor, turns out it's actually Nate Diaz. Now that large wager from a few years back makes a little more sense, or maybe he just has a sick desire to give money to gambling companies. But speaking of fighters and other celebrities, here's some photos of Max Holloway training MMA with Meta and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. I, for one, wouldn't mind seeing the speculated fight between Zuck and Elon Musk, though who knows if that's even on Dana White's radar anymore. But what the hell? I'm starting the rumor right now. Fight freaks, you heard it here first. This fight is happening in 2026, specific date and arena to be determined. And while on the topic of fights that may or may not manifest, over 200 of you voted in my poll as to whether or not a bout between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall would happen. As of right now, 81% of you voted that the fight will indeed take place. But just in case we're all sadly disappointed or can't wait that long, I came across this fight simulation between the two on EA Sports UFC 5. I won't give away the results, but it's considered to be controversial. The video is on the Boxing Fight Simulations YouTube channel, and a link to the video is in the description below. Another UFC matchup that leaves many people speculating pertains to Donald Cerrone's first fight back with his announced return. Cowboy announced that he'd officially re-entered the UFC drug testing pool and plans his UFC return, but this isn't without controversy. Cowboy openly admitted to using PEDs during his retirement, and several fighters voiced their concerns about the UFC veteran's return, and even Dana White didn't like the idea, but it looks like Cowboy is determined. But one fighter who is absolutely open to a fight with Cerrone is Joel Alvarez. After his flying knee knockout win over Drakkar Klose, the Spaniard took to the mic to call for a fight with Cowboy. I do think that would be an intriguing matchup, although there's no guarantee the fight would happen, or even that Cowboy will actually return to the octagon. And speaking of rumored matchups, there's another one that appears to have been refuted. Paddy Pimblett was rumored to be facing Michael Chandler next, but not according to Renato Moicano. Before being matched up to fight Beneil Dariush, Moicano was open to fighting Pimblett next, but mentioned that he heard through the grapevine who Paddy's next opponent would be. And according to the Brazilian, Paddy's next fight will be against Benoit Saint-Denis. He was actually quoted saying, "I think Paddy is fighting Benoit Saint-Denis. That's what I heard, and I think Benoit Saint-Denis will beat his ass. Then the hype is gone. That's what I feel." Some pretty strong words from Moicano, but what do you guys think about this? Voice your opinions in the comments section. Lastly, in honor of the upcoming new year, we're going to review the 5 UFC fights we need in 2025, an article written by Alex Paddle of The Independent. Coming in at number 5 is Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. And this is a super fight flying under the radar. Both dominant champs in their divisions, so if Weili can get past Tatiana Suarez, then it would be a super fight I'd like to see. Coming in at number 4 is Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Obviously, this is a great fight. Put either one of these fighters in the octagon and chances are the fight will be great regardless of their opponent. So yeah, this one gets my stamp of approval. Coming in at number 3 is Leon Edwards versus Ian Machado Gary. This isn't a bad fight, just not one that I consider people dying to see in the new year. The reason given was the beef between the two that stems from Gary being banned from Edwards' gym in late 2023. So maybe it's something that British fans want to see, but I'd much rather see Gary fight Colby Covington. Coming in at number 2 is Khamzat Chimaev in a middleweight title fight. Yes, I couldn't agree more. It's been a long time coming, and after Chimaev made quick work of Robert Whittaker, we thought he was next in line. Well, it turns out that Sean Strickland is getting the title fight first, but Chimaev has to be next. Unless there's a betting line I'm forgetting, the undefeated fighter has been a favorite over every current or former champ that's made betting odds public. And that's for both the middleweight and welterweight divisions. Not to mention that according to current odds, Chimaev is favorited to be the middleweight champ by the end of 2025. And the full title I showed kinda gave away the number 1 spot, but I'm sure a majority of you were all thinking of it. It's Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. And we already touched on Jones versus Aspinall already, but luckily it doesn't look like this fight is a pipe dream. Dana White and Aspinall are confident the fight will happen. Hopefully it'll be sometime in 2025, but it's still not a guarantee. Appreciate you guys watching, and a big thank you to my live studio audience. Remix is signing out, and I'll return to bring all you fight freaks your MMA fix.
Pop it! Pop it! Pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it.
For the winner by split decision, Sarah Bogomir. Are you blind? Are you blind?
이렇게 잘할 수 있게 돼서 너무 감개무량합니다.
So I actually don't speak Korean, but the translator got sick and couldn't make it. But what a badass, am I right? I mean, I certainly wouldn't mess with him. He bumps into me in a crowded room and I'm immediately apologizing.
Is there anyone here who can translate? Perhaps someone who looks like this gentleman sitting in the first row?